Hey guys, Mitko here from DN Models. Today I want to share with you a story about the model of mine that was a completely ruined project, and it ended up me trashing into the bin. After a couple of hours I picked it up, I washed it in the sink, and you'll see what happened with it afterwards. Stick with me and have fun. This is what modeling is about. Everything started as a regular project with Tamiya's amazingly nice Spitfire Mark IX. The plan was out of the box built, clean and nice, as if the machine is new, not used and worn much. Everything was done accordingly, and only some minor changes happened along the way, like for example adding some scratch-built parts into the Merlin engine. Having that beautiful representation of the beast of an engine made me think what will happen if I add few parts into it just to make it shine. Those few parts ended up to be more than 70, and unfortunately they are not all visible. I never put so much effort into scratch over a single model, let alone a separate part of it. But anyhow, I enjoyed the process a lot, and it went very fast. The camouflage was done free-handed, with a lot of repeats over and over some parts, just to make it perfect. And after the varnishing, the decal disaster struck. We all know Tamiya's weakest point in molds are the decals, which are, politely said, awful. I knew that, and even with that I decided to try my luck, and I guess it ran out on me at the engine scratching stage. Once applied, the decals turned out to be way too thick and ugly. I scraped them all down, but the result over the surface was far from what I had when it was only painted, and I was so frustrated that I dumped the whole plane into the trash bin. I spent a couple of hours trying to think of something else, but my mind was back there and how so many modelers out there dump their project when they encounter major failure or don't get the result they need. And I'm not one of them, so I got it out of the bin, put it into the sink, and washed everything with enormous amount of water and with a decent pressure of it too. The next day, everything dried. I started thinking what I can do with that. And it was a wreck, so the answer was, well, a wreck. After a thorough search, I found a picture of a Spit without crash traces over the grass, standing in a position like the model you're looking at. So I decided, since my Spit was an Indochina example, to wrap everything around the story of a crushed bird abandoned for a while out there, damaged from the moist and the rainy weather in Indochina, and then scavenged for the Merlin engine. That's why the plans, the toolbox, and everything else you see. I doubt that this happened in real life, but who knows, it might have. So I scratch built the bench, the stool, the ladder, the toolbox, I put some old watch parts inside of it, and I printed out scaled down drawings of the Merlin cylinders, which are clearly visible on that video. With the bucket and fuel drums in 35th scale, everything looked decent, and I combined it into what you can see here. Only two guys asked me where are the decals, and I explained that since Royal Air Force markings were actually decals, the French markings were eventually painted over them, and Indochina weather damaged them beyond recognition. So now, everything said and done, what you can see, this wreck of a model got an article, got 2 medals from the 3 shows it visited, and everybody loves it. An odd thing to have a model that is ruined project, and it's ruined beyond recognition actually, and to make your way out of the mess ending up turning into a model show winner. I am still in doubt, do I have to be embarrassed or proud? But what I can tell you is this. With modeling, it ain't over till it's over, so even with the biggest damage you have, you can still turn things around in your favor.